The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of ParaX, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
It's coming.
Rat! Rat! Where are you going?
I'm going back to the Paranormal View, back where I belong.
Please, take me with you.
No, I'm through with everything here. I want to see if there's something left in life I haven't explored. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Rat, don't run to them. They talk about
yours.
ghosts and haunts.
You had no right to them when you were alive, you have no
all
right to
kinds
them
of
when you're dead.
supernatural, scary stuff.
You'll never understand, will you, Scarlet?
That's what it
No!
sounds like.
Well, that's your
Yes, you know
misfortune.
who I am.
Rat!
You know I'm not playing.
Rat!
You're gonna let those
Rat,
women
go.
go.
Where shall I go? What shall I
Jesus'
do?
name, you're gonna let those women go.
Frankly, my dear,
Demon here watching us right now?
fine.
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
That's the Paranormal View.
Hello,
Your
everyone,
host,
and welcome
Henry
to another
Foister,
episode of
Jeffrey
Staring
Gould,
into the
and
Abyss.
Barbara
I am your
Dark.
host, horror author
Every
James
Saturday
Hershey
night at
Jr.,
8
and
p.m.
with me, as
Eastern,
always, my
exclusively
co-host, Old Boy
on
James
the
Ash.
X Radio Network.
Now, this week is Old Boy's pick. I like Old Boy's pick. It's a fun week for me, and here's why. On a normal episode of Staring into the Abyss, I figure out what we want to do the show on, and I have a week to prepare. So if it's a complex subject, it's something that I need to do research on and look up, I have that time to where I can look things up and be prepared for the show. Old Boy's pick, not like that. I don't know till we're doing the show what it is. So for me, this is a fun exercise because I get to think on my feet. And for you, it should be a fun exercise because you get to see how much I actually know. If I'm just well-researched or if I just know a lot of stuff. Yet to be determined. Once we realize what the pick is for this week, I'll let you know if I know what I'm talking about or not. Without further ado, let's go on over to Old Boy and see what the pick is for this week. So, Old Boy, what's on your mind, brother?
So I'm going to start this one off. Usually James does, but I'm going to do this one because this was my idea. A couple people have talked to me about this one. The difference between good and evil. And where does it come from? Is it religious? Is it just stuff that happens? Are we born with it? Some people have different opinions of this. Some people might think the evil is good, and then some people think good is evil. There's also that too. There's a religious thing to this. It's going to be kind of controversial because I'm going to say things that's probably going to make somebody mad. Okay. So if you guys like this idea, I thought about it and I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks, and I figured we'll do a show about this. So I want to know what you guys think. Leave your comments. Like always, I want to hear what you think and have an open mind. So I'll give you my opinions. This is going to be a little bit of my opinions. This doesn't mean I agree with it or I'm right, or you don't have to. I don't really care. I could care less what you believe because you're not going to change my opinion. So we'll get into a couple parts. What I believe, what I think, what is the truth. So somebody asked me what my opinion is on good and evil and where does evil come from, and evil doesn't exist because some people will think something's evil when other people don't. Majority of people think if you just kill somebody for absolutely no reason, that's evil. I agree with that. If you just kill somebody for nothing, just you did it for no reason, 90% of people are going to think that's messed up, but there's a small percentage of people are not. It's because they'll think it's over their beliefs or something they're getting revenge for, but there's still a certain amount of people are going to think that's right, and it's not. Trust me, I'm not advocating anything. The problem is there's people who believe certain religions and certain things, and they think they're doing service for their God or whatever God they believe in, and gods, and I'm not attacking anybody's beliefs or anybody's what they believe in, but that's a problem. Sometimes there's actually people who are just thinks that's justifying because it's something they've read in a book or their religion teach or they're fanatics. And it happens, but most people think that's wrong. here's my opinion on some of this. I'm just giving examples, guys. We'll get into this, why I said what I said a couple minutes ago, and when we're getting into the show more. Do people just born evil? Do they have evil traits? Do they do bad things to people? I mean, some of it's taught. You know, say that you grew up in a horrible life and you've seen crazy things happen with gangs, and or your abusive family member or parents or somebody you knew abused you and beat you, or you got seen things that's happened, or you're from a there's a lot of unfortunate wars that's happened. You've seen things or how to do things, and it's changed your opinion on things. Or just the way you grew up. You might grew up in a war-torn country. Gang violence, abuse. And you think that you've seen you've seen certain things, so you think that's the way things happen. I believe that to a point. I believe that you can be around certain things and you see it, and then that's what you're used to seeing. Happens a lot in the Middle East. You're a lot of countries in Europe, African countries. You see things all the time, even in this country, in the United States. You see crazy things all the time: gang violence, gang war, shootings, killings. There's a lot of murderers that go running around throughout the world, and a lot of people think, well, are they just like that? And they have chemical imbalances. I believe that too. But I do believe, like Jeffrey Dahmer said, I think he really wanted to do this stuff. Yeah, he grew up with his dad being a taxidermist, but he said he knew what he was doing. He never made an excuse about it. I mean, not justifying what he did. He deserved to die. Don't get me wrong for what he did. But he said it. People like John Wayne Gacy trying to blame it on this and that. He said they wanted to do it, and most of them did. The problem is there's some people out there, and crazy as this sounds, that agree with him. Very, very small percentage. There's more who do, but they don't want to admit to it because they don't want to look like they're insane. I don't agree with them. I have my opinions. Look, what we think is good, other countries don't. I'm not saying that in this country, some people don't agree with our logics and thoughts. They think we're evil. What some of the stuff we've done and the wars we've been involved in, we've exploited their countries and invaded them. They think we're bad when we think some of the stuff they do is bad. I'm not saying, I'm just showing you an example. I'm not agreeing. I'm just showing you what people think. So they think we're the bad guy. And I'll get into the born thing in a couple minutes and religious thing in a couple minutes. So I'm just going to one theory right now, just so you guys know. Let me clarify it. This is my theory on this. That's why I started to do the show first. James usually does, but I wanted to do it this time because it's something that people talk about, me and my wife talk about, and a lot of people ask me this question. So I figured, hey, I'll talk about it on the show because we never really talk about something like this. This is going to be like a PG-13 show, no cussing or swearing, but some of the stuff might be talking about might offend people or younger children. I wouldn't have listened to the show probably without your parents around, guys. I give you a pre-warning if you because some people get offended by anything. So, at least I'm giving you a warning about the show, how it's going to be this one. No swearing or anything like that. I'm just showing you there's things I'm talking about that might offend somebody. And if it does, sorry guys, then just don't listen to the show anymore. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Sorry guys, if you're used to that. I'm not a liar. I'm going to tell you straight out what I believe and what I feel, and that's too bad if you don't like it. Like I said, always leave your comments. Tell us what you think. I know we're going to get some stuff about this show because people are going to put their opinions, their religious beliefs. That's fine. Anything. Just be respectful to each other. Don't fight. You know what I'm saying, guys, because I'm doing this part of it right now just to make sure people understand why I'm doing this show. So I keep getting asked about it, so I decided to do it. I think there is a balance. And what I mean is, I believe there's evil and I believe there's good. I believe people can do evil and do good. And I believe people can do good and evil things for a better purpose. And what that means by a better purpose is I think that there's a balance. You can either have too good or too evil, and it balances itself out. I believe that there's too much evil right now, and I think that a lot of things are going to get balanced out soon. That's just my opinion. I don't care what you believe. That's fine. You believe whatever you want. I believe what I want to believe. So that's fine. I'm not here going to argue with anybody, but that's what I believe. I believe there's a balance that needs to be reset. I think it's just way too evil. And I think there is a necessary evil, and I think there's a necessary good. And just like there's, if everything was too good, it would be the same way. You're never going to have a utopia. I mean, if you believe this, that's fine. That's what you believe. You're going to go to heaven and blah, blah, blah. Everything's going to be great. That's fine. That's your belief. I'm not going to argue with it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say that's what a lot of people's opinion's going to be. Oh, yeah, this, that. This might make you a little mad. That's why I'm warning. And so I hope James, when he listens to the show, puts the warning to us, because I know he's going to say some things that's going to piss people off. And that is what it is. That's the kind of show we do. We're not here to hold punches. You know, I'm not trying to attack anybody's belief. Trust me, guys. So you know it. So I don't have somebody, oh, yeah, he's promoting satanic beliefs. I'm not at all. I'm even saying some people in my belief have done some really dumb stuff and crazy things and abominations that should never happen because they thought they were going to get some kind of power, or they did and they used it in the wrong way. And that I will totally agree with you guys. If you're using this right here behind me to hurt people, hurt children, I'm sorry. I'm not for it. I'm totally not for it. Never have been. And there is people who do. And every religion. And then that's where it goes on the other side. I've heard it from the other side who said this, and then they go and shoot up a bunch of malls. And that's not, and I said that's happened with other religions too. Don't give it just that one. But what I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to get into that because it's a whole nother story, but I'm saying altogether, I'm showing you an example. And it's happened with mine too. Been a couple have done some dumb stuff and murder people for absolutely stupid reasons. Because they thought they were going to get somewhere. Because the devil told them to do it. You believe that? That's fine. Again, if you really believe that, I'm not trying to disrespect you. But just like with if any of your beliefs talks about killing innocents altogether to get you power. Any belief. I'm talking about any belief now. I'm sorry I don't agree with it. I'm not with it. Any religion. Any beliefs. Even if you don't believe in anything and you decide that you think the world needs to get blown up or whatever you believe, it would be better because they don't believe this. I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. Any of it. Any beliefs. Any. I'm saying, so you can't say, oh, you going one way. No, not at all. I'm just saying my opinion on good and evil. I'm just trying to get it into, because this is a long episode, so I'm going to go longer and longer and talk about more what I think. I think there is people who are born evil, guys. And how could that be? I think there is. I think there's people who are just born absolutely evil. And you can't be 100% evil, but their intentions are not good. They don't care about hurting people. They just don't have it there like me and other people. But I believe that you can turn that way too. I believe that you can be forced. You see something crazy happen, you lose your mind. You can do something crazy too on that. I believe that you start reading into propaganda and anything like with politics, beliefs, wars, that you can lose your mind and think people are against you. And you could also have schizophrenia. You could also have, proven illnesses too that don't help, that makes it even worse, that you think people are after you. That's another thing I'm going to get into is people have mental issues. And that's another issue that I think people realize that, oh, they're evil. No, there's people who actually have mental issues and they just don't know how to handle them and should be getting help and getting medicine and not being put away because unless they're like a danger to everyone, and some people should. And that's the other part. I believe people have mental issues that don't help them either, and it makes it even worse. They'll get into something, or they'll get into a movie where the movie character or anti-hero is somebody like that guy, the Joker killer, Aurora. He dressed up like the Joker and thought, oh, I'm going to start shooting people and that's fun. There's people who believe that, guys. I'm not saying it's a very small few, but there is, who actually were probably deep down inside didn't care. Like, you know, like the Columbine shootings. I know those kids were getting picked on, but they wore the trench coat. And they got, at that time, they were getting bullied. I'm not excusing what they did, but my opinion, they should have went and got help. Or somebody should have helped them, and look what happened. People lets it go. You see things that happen, red flags that happen. We should deal with it and stop pushing it under the rug. Because fire is ready to come. A firecracker gets lit and slowly burns till it blows up, and that's what happens. And I believe that too. I believe that that's another big issue with people. It's not evil. They just, minds don't work the way me and yours do, and everybody else does. And I believe that. I know a lot of people can agree on that one too. That's another issue we can agree on. I know some of this stuff's going to get edited, but it should be a show that we got to talk about. So, my opinion is, the only time you should defend yourself, and I know somebody's going to, don't do that, is if you're in immediate danger. Your family's in immediate danger, is the only time my personal opinion is to do something. And I'm not advocating to do it. That's only if it's like life or death, guys. And that's just my opinion. Unless somebody attacks you, you're not going to try to kill them. You might fight them off or something. I'm not talking about that. That's self-defense. I do believe in some cases self-defense is real. And it is and I believe in it. That's just my opinion. But I don't ever force yourself on somebody or attack somebody for absolutely nothing, or just because you don't agree with them. That's no. Or have different beliefs or different sexualities or different religions. You don't attack somebody. That's an anger issue that people have. That's a mental issue that people think. And I think it's also a narcissist. You can't handle somebody else's opinion because it doesn't fit your agenda or your belief or the way you think. Or you're just a straight out jerk. I want to say other words, but I'm keeping it PG. You're an ass. And you think you just don't care and you're too privileged and you're better than everybody else, so it doesn't matter what you do. And there's people like that too that just have no conscience, guys. And you go to wars and you see people getting blown up. I could see that. That's also a mental issue because you saw things that most people are never going to see. Yeah, you could see it on movies, but never in reality you're going to see that kind of stuff. Unless you're like in gang shootings, cops. You know, you see people getting shot. You work at the hospitals. That's another thing. You have to have a certain mind frame. And I believe that can make people think different. But the word good and evil, I believe people are capable of both. Both. I believe people are born either way. I think that there may be a spiritual side of it, good and evil. But I believe it's a calculated chess game. Kind of like Constantine, but it's not that, like there's sides. But I believe that there's a possibility on that. There is a religious possibility. And there's a scientific thing with minds of alcohol and drugs or things that's trauma that's happened. And I believe that can happen. Do I believe like grudge? I believe that too. I believe that somebody got wrong so bad that they could come back, or something can come back after those people. And there's some people think witchcraft. I do believe that. I believe that people can use witchcraft in a bad or good way. And some people use it to get revenge, and they can. But there is a consequence to that, trust me. And so I hope I didn't offend anybody by the show. I wanted to do something different, guys. I know that this is an argument that's going on a lot. I figured we could do the show, me and James. I know James is going to have his opinions, and he's going to say some stuff that's probably going to make somebody mad. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's opinions or mess up anybody's belief, but I'm just going to tell you this. That's the way I think. I'm not trying to hurt you guys. I'm not trying to attack your beliefs. Oh, you're an idiot. You shouldn't believe anything you're thinking. I'm just being honest of what I believe. And this is something that I've had conversations in the past. I wish I could do a couple shows, and we will down the line, because that's what everybody's opinion is going to be. Not everybody. That's going to be a lot of people's opinion is going to be religion. And I know that's where it's going to come. And this is the other part of it I was going to talk about. And I'll talk about that in a minute. This is what I believe. This is my opinion. Like, again, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm not going to change it. And whatever religion you believe and whatever you want to do, pray for me. I don't care what your opinion is. Trust me, pray for yourself. Read your Bible or your whatever book you read and worry about it yourself. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. Please don't try to pray for me. I really don't want to hear it. I'm just throwing that in there, guys. I know that's going to happen. Then that's your opinion. I don't care. I'm not being a jerk. I wouldn't pray for you. I hope the best for everybody on the show. I hope everybody has a great life, but I'm not here. Please make sure they have a great life. Honestly, I don't want anybody worried about me. You know what? If something good happens to me, thank you. I take that as a compliment. I get it, but I'm complimenting you. I hope the best for you and your family. That's all I can offer. And I'm not meaning that in a bad way. That's just me. I want the best for everyone. We'll just put it this way. I'm not a heartless person like, your people think. I appreciate it, but just do it for somebody who wants it. That's all I'm saying. And for your family and yourself. And good blessings for you. And so let me re-inject it. I didn't mean to come off like a jerk because I know somebody's going to take it offensive, and I really don't care. That's me. I'm old boy. That's why I do what I do. If you believe it in a religious thing, because you guys do ghost hunting, and how do you not know? And how do you know that's bad and that's evil? Just because we do paranormal doesn't mean everything we deal with is evil. I know that's the first thing a lot of people believe in. Again, that's religion. And I'm not calling out anybody's religion, but there's a lot of them. And I'm not just talking about Christianity. And so people can think, he's attacking. I'm not at all. I'm talking about all together. I believe people can turn evil. I believe you can become evil. I believe you already are evil. I believe you can be good. You can do good things, but I believe you can always have both sides to you. And that's just my opinion. Like I was getting back to the yin and the yang, good and bad, evil, devil, God, whatever you want to believe in. I dealt with some of these spirits that some of these so-called people talk about, and I'm just going to tell you this right now. You're never going to get rid of any of these things. They can go and jump to other people, influence other people, do what they want. Not every one of them are looking to destroy the world and do this like everybody thinks. That's fine. You believe whatever you want because you're going to, and that's the way you're raised, or that's how you believe your beliefs came, and that's fine. But the funny thing is, I've never had anything happen to me. Oh, of course, somebody's going to say it's going to. Well, that's funny because I'm 45 almost and nothing's happened. And I've been doing this for years. And it seems to me that automatically it's always that. And it's not, guys. Sometimes we are just dealing with things that have no understanding. And some people want to have an understanding on things. And sometimes you're not going to. We're not going to always have the answers. I don't. James doesn't. Just so you guys know. I try to, but I don't think we're meant to have all the answers, guys. I not on this subject. People can say science too. There, we can go on that one. They're not going to know everything. Science can't. You know what? Science does prove a lot of things, but it's not 100%. Just like religion's not 100%. There's always stuff we're never going to know. I don't care what you say. We're never going to know what triggers people to be bad and good. We can know some of it. Maybe a drug. We also got to throw drugs could be a big thing about it. They could be the nice person start doing drugs and doing bad things, stealing from people, robbing. But that's understandable. That's we can all agree on that one. I agree on that. Drugs can make you change. It can do a lot of bad things. It's a bad demon, guys. Drugs is bad. Alcohol is bad too. Dude, trust me. Alcohol. I've dealt with it with family members with alcohol. Been in my life a lot. Not me. I don't really drink a lot. I drink once in a while, and I like to drink back in the day. But I'm getting older now. But I drink here and there. But I've dealt with a lot of alcoholics in my family, my love lives, and I know how it goes. And that's a demon that it can make you do bad things, just like drugs. Drugs is one thing we can right now all agree on, and alcohol can make you do bad things. But they're temporary. If you were sober, you wouldn't do them most of the time. And alcohol makes you do stuff you don't want to do, and drugs too. Or it helps you to something you want to do, and now it makes you like not care. We can put it that way. That's a better way of saying it. So I hope you think I'm not coming off the way I am. I'm just who I am, guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat what I do and what I believe. And this is just an opinion. And this is the alcohol and stuff is not. It's true. And what I was getting to is now the religious part of being good and evil. So I want to keep rambling. Some people believe that the devil is bad and God is good. You believe that? That's fine. And that's where evil and good came from. That's fine what you believe. And and this is where I hate getting into religion, because I know this is going to cause drama, and this is where it's going to always cause drama, and somebody's going to get angry. So that's why I'm not going to go too far into this one, because I know somebody's going to get mad. Look, if that's what you believe, that's fine. And I believe there's a little bit of truth to that, to a point, but I believe it's controlled more than you think. Kind of like, and people are going, oh, the Constantine thing, one's good, one bad, but they have to have rules. Not that extreme, but I believe there is rules. I believe there's more than you think, and they can't just do whatever they want, just like both sides. They can't really intervene. Sometimes people, I wouldn't say people, but sometimes spirits, whatever, demons, angels, don't care and do what they want. And they have before we were here. That's, the Christians look at, saying it, and Catholics, Muslims, the fallen angels, you say, didn't care what God said, and they did what they wanted. And they probably still do. That's why I said there's some who don't follow the rules. But I believe there is a rule guideline that you're supposed to follow. So I think that both sides have their armies. They pick and choose who they want. And certain things have been going on for thousands and thousands of years. I will agree with you guys on that. That's one part I will. Like I said, this can be a controversial show a little bit. And I believe sometimes people do bad things in the name of their religious beliefs. And I believe that. I believe all religions have bad people, or people capable of doing bad things. They all propaganda on each other, and I'm saying this with even my religion. Every religion propagandas in some way and pushes their belief better than everybody else's, and they're the right and you're wrong, and everybody else is, well, we don't get into that. We know where that goes, so I don't have an argument or somebody saying anything crazy. Because we have people threatening to kill us and coming after us already. So, whatever. And people cursing us and whatever. That's fine. That's your belief. And you're welcome to it, guys. I'm just saying my opinion. I'm not saying this is true fact 100%. I'm just letting everybody know. When you listen to the show, it might make you mad a little bit. Because all of our shows are pretty... We're always on that line of making somebody mad. And I'm not trying to go attack anybody. I'm just trying to get some closure of the show we could do. And we're going to probably do another show about good and evil one day. I know people have their religious beliefs, and that's fine. Anything you believe, that's fine, but there's more to it. I think there is. I believe that evil can so many evil things happen, like a war, like Gettysburg, places like that. I believe there's a stain of evil there because of all the bad that happened. There's stuff we'll never know what happened. There's people who were murdered during the war that were said that they were killed by soldiers, and then there were just bad things that's happened in this country and other countries that's happened in the past. Horrible things, murders and kills, all kinds of crazy things that's happened. And I believe that if it did at that time, we have a mark, like a fingerprint, but it's like an evil fingerprint. So much evil has happened, it just gathers up negativity, and it makes what we think is demons Or maybe there's another dimension that these creatures come, a multiverse. Or maybe there is a heaven and hell. Maybe there's more than heaven and hell. Maybe there's other places. They're different ones. Maybe these creatures thrive off of this stuff, and people are going to say that. I'm just saying different theories and different opinions. Is there people who were just picked that they're going to be good, they're going to be bad? Just like with murdering. Like, people think that if you were murdered, you really weren't, like somebody dies in a car crash, or somebody gets, just dies of old age or a heart attack. But if somebody kills you, that wasn't you, how you died. You died from somebody else taking your life. Is that why you get stuck in, like, purgatory? And people like us, like ghost hunters, have to help you? It's a theory I've always been thinking about. Is that why we're doing this? To help them, the people who are murdered? Or, they were, they just were taken from somebody else? Because murder, in my opinion, is somebody else took your life. It wasn't an act of God. It wasn't an act of God's. Or you died in a car crash. You died of old age. You died of a disease. You died of accidental. Or you could kill yourself, and that's in the whole suicide. I don't want to say kill yourself. Suicide's one where you're killing yourself. But if somebody else does it, that wasn't planned. Or was it? Was it that something that these people were born with, they sniff out on certain people, they think, or they get told to do it, or they just have this feeling that that's the person they pick, and they pick them for that reason? I'm just showing out theories. I'm not trying to validate anything. I absolutely hate murders. Just so everybody knows that. I'm just saying opinions and what I believe. So I hope everybody liked this show, and I tried to really keep it, PG-13, because I know I'm talking about stuff that's going to probably be controversial. I know somebody's going to listen to this show and may get mad. And you know what? Again, I'm not here to worry about that. I'm giving you a warning now that this show might make somebody uncomfortable and unhappy. It might be controversial. So if you don't like this kind of stuff, just don't watch it, guys. And I think James will probably put a warning about this show. Nothing bad on it. No real bad. We don't really ever swear and cuss. That's not our style. We did that a long time ago on Word Screwed. That was a whole different show. We used to say whatever we wanted. But this time and age is a different time now. That was 6-7 years ago. The whole Howard Stern thing's kind of dying out now. I don't know if you could really get away with some of the stuff that was said on those shows. So, that's a whole different sector of what we're talking about right now. So I hope you guys understand that I wasn't trying to offend anybody's religious belief. Anybody. I'm not trying to do that, guys. I'm just trying to show you two sides. I'm looking at it both sides. I see certain people's points on all beliefs. And everybody has a valid argument, but this is my opinion. And this is what I've seen and what I think. And that's just what I'm saying, guys. I hope you guys can tell us what you think in the comments. I enjoy hearing you guys. Enjoy hearing your guys' opinion on this, because I know a lot of people are going to have an opinion on this show. And you know what? You're open to it. You're allowed to say whatever you want. As long as it's not, you're going to kill us or F you guys and say all kinds of dumb stuff, then we're going to block you. And, that's the end of it. Or attack each other and argue about what you believe and what is right and what is wrong. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to say anybody's wrong or right. It's just an opinion of mine that I figured I would do, because this is the kind of show that needs to be talked about, because we don't do a lot of stuff like this, because it's, it's very controversial. Taboo a little bit of taboo there, because of different beliefs, and we don't want to, we have a array of people who listen to the show on all walks of life, all religions, all sexualities. So we're trying to keep it where we don't make somebody mad, but we probably are going to make somebody mad. So, that's the way it goes. And you know what? At the end of the day, that's life. Nothing's always going to be fair. Everything you hear is never going to be what you want. And that's just how it goes. And that's how everything's been for years. So I love you guys. So there you go, James. I hope, let me know what you think and tell us what you think, guys. Like I said in the comments, I love you guys.
The old good versus evil deal, huh? Okay. Well, there's two ways that I can approach this. I can do what old boy probably expects me to do and what probably most of you expect me to do. We could do the biblical answer where I dive deep into the Bible and quote a bunch of scripture to you. And before we know it, 20 minutes will be over. 30 minutes, I don't know how much time I have left. Whatever it is, it'll be gone. And there'll be no more show. That would be easy. I could do that in my sleep. But is that the most interesting way to do this? I don't think so. I think the most interesting way, and probably the way that the majority of you would rather hear, instead of focusing on the good versus evil, because that's an old concept, man. Everybody knows what good is, everybody knows what evil is. And everybody's familiar with the war between the two. So I think instead, let's kind of take a deep dive on this one. Let's look at evil. And evil is not as easy as people think it is. People tend to see these things as black and white, either something's good or something's evil. And there's that gray area in between, and everybody's heard that before. But even with evil, there's a gray area. Because there's many different types of evil. And I think I'm going to use my time tonight to kind of go over a few of those types of evil and kind of explain them and kind of root down into this a little bit. And then once I'm done, I think maybe you'll see that there is kind of a gray area, even with evil. So the first kind of evil, I guess, would be just plain old evil. Into this category, we could throw people like Charles Manson or Jeffrey Dahmer, somebody like that. Somebody that's just born evil. Just born wrong. Now, you could say, well, that person has mental illness or whatever. Maybe, but they're still evil. I mean, I don't care how mentally ill you are. You can't tell me that wanting to murder and eat people is not an evil act. Plain and simple, it's evil. So that's the first type, I guess you would say. The first classification is somebody that's just born evil, just plain out evil. And I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on that because that's pretty damn self-explanatory. The next, I would say, is something that we all agree is an evil act. Where everybody, left or right, good or bad, everybody, no matter what side you're on, everybody can look at something and say, that is evil. Now, I think that is fairly easy to explain as well, but with that, there is a little bit of not necessarily a gray area because it's still evil. But I'm going to give you an example that it really depends on your perspective, how you're looking at it. Whether you see the evil or not. The evil still exists. It's still there. But do you see it as evil? Now, here's the example. And I want to real quick say, old boy said maybe I should put a warning up or something, or, for controversial and all that kind of stuff. We're all adults here, right? We can have a conversation. We don't have any of those little baby people that are going to cry and whine, right? We're all adults. We can have a civilized conversation, I hope. So here's the example. You're pregnant. You're getting ready to have your baby. Your husband is super stoked. You're super stoked. It's a wonderful day in your life. You go into the delivery room. You have the baby. I come walking in with a white jacket on, dancing. Grab the baby, throw it on the floor and stomp on it. No more baby. Now, I think we can all agree that's an evil act, right? No arguments, right? Everybody here would say that's evil. Well, here's the part where I say it all depends on your perspective. Because if literally 5 or 10 seconds before I walked through that door and committed that unspeakable evil act, if another man in a white coat would have done it, but instead of throwing the baby on the ground and stomping on it, he cut it apart with scissors and sucked it out with a vacuum. All of a sudden, it's not an evil act anymore to some people. To some people, it's the same act. Okay, don't get me wrong. Same thing. both result in dead baby. In both examples, baby was alive, somebody killed it, now it's dead. Okay? But in the second example, that's not an evil act anymore, according to some people. Then it's a choice. Now, you could argue the first one was a choice. I chose to come in there and do that. But because you chose and I didn't choose, it's a choice. Still evil. Same exact act. Same exact result. Still evil. But it depends on your perspective whether you view it as evil or not. But you can say, well, it's the mother's choice. Okay. Mother's choice. So let's change the example. We'll use the second example of the doctor killing the baby as the first one this time. In the second one, the mama has the baby. Doctor pulls it out. They clear its nose and mouth, smack it on the hiney. It starts crying. It's all good. They hand the baby to the mother. Look at your beautiful baby. The mother slams it against the ground and kills it. Now, in that example, the mother made the choice, just like she did in the first example, right? Evil act. Now, if the second example happened where the mother threw it on the floor, everybody in here would say that's evil. Every single person would say that is an evil, disgusting act. But for some reason in the first example, because the doctor did it, and the mother wanted it done, now it's not an evil act. Both cases, evil. But this is one of those examples of things I'm talking about where it depends on your perspective whether or not it's evil. Every war has two sides. Now, depending on which side of the line you're standing on, that determines who the good guys are and the bad guys are. Now, is there definitive good and evil? Yes, I think there is, absolutely. There is good and there is evil. But see, men are fallible. And when I say men, I mean men and women. Are fallible. We are prone to dance all over that line between good and evil. We are not all of one or all of the other. So that's the second type of evil, is evil that should be plain and simple evil, but it's not in some people's eyes because the result, or even the act itself, the whole idea of it really aligns with their ideology. So in their eyes, it's not evil, even though it's plainly an evil act. Because there's no way you can say that it's not. I don't care whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. I don't care whether you're a Christian or a Satanist. I don't care what you are. There's no way anybody can say that murdering a baby is not an evil act. But somehow in our insane culture, that's exactly what half the country is saying, which is nuts. The next kind of evil is the kind that some people don't even see as evil, and other people don't believe that it is evil. And that's the little bitty tiny, what you would say would be inconsequential type of evils. I'll give you a great example of that. You've been married 20 or 30 years. You ain't what you used to be. Back in your high school days, boy, you were a stud. Big old muscles, sexy body. You were the man. Not so much anymore. Now you're kind of soft around the edges. You kind of got a little belly popping out, man. You don't move as fast as you used to. You don't recuperate like you used to. You're not the machine you used to be. Your wife, even though you love her with all your heart, is not either. Put on a few pounds. Got that big old booty kind of dragging the sand. Not in a good way. Now, here's where the evil comes in. You're getting ready to go out because it's date night. And anybody who's married knows date night is a big deal to the women. Men don't care. We just as soon sit at home and watch the game. really don't give a damn about date night. We do date night to kind of keep mama happy so that daddy can be happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's date night. Now, any married man will also definitely identify with what I'm about to say. And it's easy. Date night is a simple process. Get up, pull off her camo, jump in the shower, scrub ourselves down for 5 minutes, get out, get dressed, we're ready to go. For mama, it's an all-day process. See, mama's going to shower too, but mama's shower is going to take 45 minutes to an hour. And then mama's going to put on makeup and do her hair and spray everything, try on 100 different outfits. During this period of time, daddy's sitting on the couch. Or as I like to sit in my recliner. I don't have a couch. I like recliners because I'm a big guy and they're comfortable. So I'm sitting there watching a game, or I'm watching wrestling, or I'm watching something, some documentary, something that I want to watch, and I'm enjoying myself while she's getting ready. Now, in this process, once the woman gets to the trying on clothes stage, at this point in the process, you want to make sure that you're not watching anything on TV that you have to pay a lot of attention to, because you're not going to be paying attention to that TV show or sporting event or documentary or whatever you're watching. Because mama going to keep walking in the room and asking you if the outfit that she's chosen looks good. Now, there is only one answer to this question. And it doesn't matter what the truth is. There's only one answer that you give. When mama asks, do I look good in this? Yes. You look amazing. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Oh my God, my heart is about to burst from your beauty. That's the right answer. Something along, you can make up your own. You want to steal mine. Make up your own. But that's the answer. Now, sometimes this is where it gets scary. Because, see, men don't have listen. We know the conversation up here. We've heard it 100 times. We know exactly what you're going to say when you come out of that bathroom. So we're not even actually really listening to you. You're talking. Does this, does this look good? You like this outfit? And in our heads, dun, 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 we're not listening, dude. We're still watching the TV show, but we're answering on cue because we hear the inflection of your voice, the way it rises and falls. So we know the points where we're supposed to talk. So we get to those points where we're supposed to talk, and we give the appropriate answer. But here's the scary part. Sometimes mama figures out you ain't listening. So mama changes the questions. Now, sometimes that question will be a dangerous question. So men, if you're listening and you're newlywed or you only been married a tiny bit of time, I've been married almost 20 years. Take my advice on this. You can still watch the game, but pay attention to what that woman's saying, because she's liable to change it up on you. And if she changes it up on you and you give the yes answer, and to this question, you in trouble. Now, this question, which is a dangerous, dangerous question. Does this dress make my butt look big? Does it make it look fat? Do I look fat in this? Some variation of that question. Now, as I said, the question to that, now, like I said, the answer to that question is never, never, ever, 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 ever. Yes. Doesn't matter what the truth is. Doesn't matter if your wife can't fit through the door. The answer is never yes. The answer to that question is always no. You look great. Looks great on you. Never say yes. But see, if you're not listening, you think what you're going to hear is this outfit okay? Does this look good? So you fire off the yes, and you're busted. Now, here's where the evil part gets in. I kind of took a long roundabout way to get here. But here's where the evil part comes in. You're lying to that woman. Now, this is assuming that you're lying to her, right? Because it's a white lie. You're just sparing her feelings. You're not trying to be evil. You're not trying to hurt nobody. You're just trying to spare the woman's feelings. But it's a lie. Now, the idea of a white lie is not real. It's made up. Every lie is a lie. And it's a sin. It's evil. So you are committing an evil act by lying to that woman. But here's the kicker. If you tell the truth, you're hurting her. A lot of people would say that in that case, you are also committing an evil act. Can't win in that situation. Either way you go, you're committing evil. But a lot of people think because it's a tiny little lie with good intentions, that means that it's not evil. When it is, still evil. How many of you have been in traffic? Probably everybody. How many of you have been in traffic and some dumbass cuts you off? Pulls out in front of you. Almost hits your car because they ain't watching where they're going. Or does one of a million other very, very stupid things. Happens to me almost every day. Now, in that situation, when that happens, do you immediately stop your car and pray for that individual and wish them a happy and wonderful life and profess your love to the universe about how much you love this person? No. You call them every name in the book. That's what you do. You curse and you yell and you get pissed off. Everybody does. Now, Jesus said that if you even get angry with your brother, you committed murder in your heart. That's a sin. That's evil. Everybody would say that's evil. Once again, man is fallible. We sin. That's what we do. So just because something is technically evil, does that mean that it's perceived as evil? That's the real question I'm asking here. It really comes down to this. It's not about good versus evil. There's not opposing sides here. There is, but for this conversation, I think that's the wrong point to be making. What it really boils down to, and what a lot of people are thinking of here, is not good versus evil. It's overall morality. It's what set of morals have we all agreed to as a society? And here's the reason I went down this path today. Here's why I'm saying this to you. It's all going to make sense. I'm going to tie it all together right now. You ready? I'm a Christian. Everybody knows that. I love Jesus. He is my Savior. Oh boy. Satanist. Now, if we were going by the good old good versus evil deal, we should be enemies. But we're not. Old boy is sinning. So am I. We're both sinners. Just because he chooses to worship the enemy and I choose to worship Christ doesn't mean that we're both not sinners. I'm a good man. So is old boy. We both have a code of honor. We both follow the same basic moral guide work that the whole country has agreed is the way we're supposed to do. He just chooses to believe something other than what I believe. So I think the important thing as a society shouldn't be good versus evil. The important thing for a society should be, are you keeping the moral contract that we've all agreed to? A set of behaviors, a set of standards that we're all going to live up to. Now, individually, good and evil, very important. Individually, between you and God, very important. And the realization you got to come to is that you're evil. All of us. We're all sinners. None of us deserve heaven. It's only through the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, his blood, his death on the cross, that we can be found worthy. Between you and God, good and evil, very important. Because he can make you, who are evil, good, so that you can enter heaven. That's about all the time I got. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And we'll catch you on the next one. Till we speak to you again. Love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do we. Bye-bye.